Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Penguin Nonsense. I am your host, Edith, and we are back another Monday. And hopefully today is Christmas by the time you're listening to this podcast. Or maybe it's past Christmas. Maybe y'all don't listen to it on Monday. So if it has been past Christmas, I hope you had a good Christmas. If it's not past Christmas, then I hope you're going to have a good Christmas. Maybe I'm in the background as you're cooking dinner, whatever you're doing, or breakfast, whatever it is that y'all end up doing for Christmas. But it's here. Another year has gone. Another year has started almost. Basically, like we have one more week. So it's been crazy. It's been a hell of a ride for sure. I feel like it's been one of those like, oh, like the year is going by so fast, but then it's here and you're like, dang, it really went by fast. And so it really has been something, but I think it really just ended up on a good note. I'm happy where I am. I'm excited to see what this next year has, the new steps that we're gonna take and that kind of stuff in our lives, and I think it'll be good. So I hope that the same thing happens for y'all. Hope that you are heading in good directions. Excited for new things coming in y'all's lives, and I'm hoping the best, right? So, in celebration of Christmas, and the whole week or whatnot, I am bringing all of these stories have something holiday theme. So mostly Christmas, but you know, so hope y'all like these stories of today. I hope I did alright choosing them for y'all. And without further ado, I know there's something bothering my guys. I don't know. Without further ado, let's get on with our first story of today. So, our first story of today is titled Worse Than Giving Birth. 700 fall sick after Airbus staff Christmas dinner. So, as I was reading this article to begin with, when I first saw the article, I already know I'm going to say a lot of these words wrong. And that's just because I don't speak French. So, of course, I'm going to say a lot of these wrong. And yeah, I guess I should probably do some speak thing to where I can hear how to pronounce them better. But I I settle on we'll butcher them. It'll be okay. So, the article goes, a gourmet Christmas dinner for 2,600 workers at the French aerospace group Airbus Atlantic left hundreds of staff sick. The health authorities have launched an investigation to establish what caused a mass outbreak of gastroenteritis among a reported 700 employees. The festive feast was organized and provided by the company's own restaurant as its site at Montoire de Bretagne in the Loire-Atlantique region of Western France. Delicacies on the menu included foie gras, and I'm probably pronounced that wrong, scallops, lobsters, and tornadoes, followed by desserts of ice cream logs and hazelnut chocolate mousse at just 13 or 15 euros a head. The affected workers showed clinical signs of vomiting and diarrhea after the seasonal dinner on December 14. Most fell ill within 24 to 48 hours. Health officials said that they had not yet identified what caused the mass poisoning and are looking into whether it was caused by a bacterium in the food or an extremely contagious gastroenteritis virus. So the investigations are continuing, a spokesperson said, adding that the results should be available here in the next few weeks. So, a questionnaire has been sent out to all of these present at the meal to like kind of just exclude stuff, and also they have to provide samples of the food that people ate so those can be tested too. So we'll be finding out soon what ended up causing this, and I'll try to see if I can remember to look for an update on this story, because I think it's pretty interesting. For 700 people to get sick, that's pretty big, you know? I was thinking about it, and I was like, if you, you sometimes, like, you go to all these, like, holiday parties, like, from work and stuff, or friends and family, and you know that all these people cook differently, all these people are, like, bringing something different, that kind of stuff, and you're essentially taking a risk by eating whatever it is that they bring, but you're like, yeah, screw it, you know, it's the holidays. It would be weird to not enjoy the food that their people are bringing, right? So I think that it's gotta suck for you to, like, apparently, like, there's very long article, but apparently this is something that they do every year, so it's not like it was something new. So to have 700 of your employees all of a sudden, like, get sick, that is crazy. So I hope that the people who did get sick get better, but it also has to suck, you know? Like, you don't go into these parties thinking, oh, I'm gonna get sick, and you always hope you don't get everybody sick, especially if it's like a potluck type of thing. Like, you hope it's never your food that makes somebody sick. In this case, it was their restaurant. And I'm sure they weren't hoping that they managed to get all these people sick. Out of 2,000 people, it's not too bad, but still, I think bad enough. um, that's a pretty big number, 700. So I hope they get better. I hope they get to feeling better, and I hope nobody, like, has, like, any really bad like sickness out of this. To where, like, somebody dies or something. I don't even know if you can die from that thing that they say they had, but or just really bad food poisoning. But if it is possible, I really hope nobody does. But I think they're gonna be fine so far. I think they would have already said if somebody had died from whatever this caused. So it sucks. It sucks for the 700 people, like I said already. And I really do hope that they just get better and it just goes through their system. Because I mean, at the end of the day, that's all you can kind of do. You know, it's just kind of let it go through, and just your body hopefully gets rid of it. You know. So I hope they find out what made them sick, and I hope they all get better. And let me know in the comments what you guys thought of this. Because 700 people, whew, that was a lot. So we continue on to our second story of the day. If I can find it, you guys. I found it. As always, the story is from Reddit, and it's also a holiday themed story. And it is from Am I the A-Hole forum, by user Not Heart or Soul. It was posted a day ago, and its title: Am I the a-hole for not going to my mom's house for Christmas because she doesn't consider my son special? And at first when I read this, maybe I was just like, what do you mean special? Like, I think that was my big question. It's like, okay, well, and here goes the story. I have a sister, quotations, Anne, who is 2 years older than me, and Anne has and always has been my mom's favorite. Growing up, my mom got Anne everything she wanted, whether it was new clothes, toys, electronics, her own bedroom. In a one-bedroom apartment, I slept on the floor in the living room with mom, etc. We were poor, or sometimes my mom would borrow money, take out loans, hustle, or play her luck gambling to get her whatever she wanted. But if I were to ask for anything, I always got hit with the next time. We don't have the money. I also denied was denied certain experiences that my sister got to have. For example, I was not allowed to date or go to friends' houses or even walk to the store by myself. My mom rationalized this by saying that she treated us differently because of our personalities, with my sister being the diva quotation marks and me being the quiet mark quotation marks. I've come to accept that she loves us differently and have moved on with my life. I know I have, and now I have a son of my own, and my sister has 2 kids as well. I know, sorry, I was gonna reread that. For Christmas, we all plan to meet at my mom's house. My mom has always enlisted me to help with decorations and preparations, so I've taken her to the store, setting up the decorations, etc. I was helping her put the final touches on the tree recently and arranging the gifts when I noticed that Anne's kids got a lot more gifts than my son. Specifically, Anne's kids had 12 gifts apiece, while my son had only 3. I made a comment about it and she said that my son was small. He's 4. He'll outgrow everything fast, both clothes and toys, so she didn't get him much. I let it go, but it still bothered me. My sister's kids are 8 and 6, which means they'll grow fast too, making her excuse a little bit lame. I ended up asking her about it again, and she admitted that it was because Anne's kids are special. She said they were her heart and soul. I felt hurt by that but I thought maybe I'm just being too sensitive. I talked to my husband about it and agreed that it was hurtful and questioned whether we should go to Mom's Christmas. I decided we won't go. I have called my mom to tell her. She got mad and said I was being childish and needed to get over it because all grandmothers have their picks when it comes to grandchildren. She says she'll still love my son and thinks I'll be hurting him by not letting him see her on Christmas. She's told Anne about it and other people vaguely over Facebook, and Anne more or less said it's quotation marks our problem, and she's going to enjoy Christmas anyways. Wow. That's the end of that one. That one, I was like, how I understand that people have their favorites. I'm like, tired, guys. I don't know. It's too early to be tired, I guess. But I was wondering. I was like, I know everybody already has their favorites. Like I know parents are always like, oh, I don't have favorites. I love them all equally. But deep inside, we all know that they do. And I get it. It's normal. But I think when you start, how would I say, actually making it noticeable to like where you start getting somebody something more or something less and that kind of stuff, I feel like that's when it starts to be a little like you need to reconsider some stuff in your life. In this case, I feel like the fact that these 2 kids are getting 12 gifts each and the one of her kids is getting 3 gifts, it's ridiculous. And the fact that she said that he's only 4 and it's gonna grow everything, like that's not an excuse. You could have totally have found like maybe toys that were like progressively grow with the kid or stuff like that. Like especially nowadays, there's plenty of stuff that progressively grow with the kid. And so I feel that was really a lame excuse. And even if that was the case, like I feel like if you really wanted to like give your other nephews and or nieces, whatever, extra gifts because they're your favorites, then I feel like you could have done it at a different time and not done it together. Whereas like if that was really just gonna be your plan, I feel like you could have been like, okay, we're gonna have dinner at this time and we're gonna open presents at this time, but like only have those presents out and like pull the mom aside, like and have like everybody the equal same amount of presents and be like, okay, like in this case like 3, and then each kid get 3 of them, and then pull the mom aside to which you have your favorites of. I still think it's ridiculous, but and be like, hey, kid, do you mind staying a little bit after her kid goes home, that kind of stuff, and then giving them the extra gifts. But honestly, like, I think that's like, if you're gonna be that person, then you might as well work around it and not make you feel a kid. Like, I'm sure he's 4, he's not gonna remember who gave him the most gifts, but at the end of the day, like, to have that in his memories at some point, if he's ever to like be able to remember that, even if he grows older, he's always gonna remember that my grandma, it doesn't love me as much as he loves these two. And like, as he gets older, if this patterns do keep continuing where she's always giving them more, or giving these kids like more gifts, more love, more attention, whatever it is, and he doesn't get as much, it's really going to become a problem. And it's like, it comes down to like, you need to treat them all kind of like the same. And if you are going to single people out like that, then it's better not to even put your kid into that position. So I'm kind of glad that the mom was like, you know what, we're not going to go and have my kid, feel like he's left out, that kind of stuff out of this. So it sucks. It really does. But I guess maybe sometimes, maybe like, I could see the grandma side of it too. Like, at the end of the day, maybe like he should be able to have that moment with grandma. Because the fact that he doesn't get to have it, I'm sure it hurts. Like, I grew up pretty much not getting to be around my grandparents. And so I always like tell people who do have their grandparents, do your best to be with them and that kind of stuff, because people like us, we don't get to have that like luxury. So I understand where it could come, like taking that away from the kid at such a young age without him having the choice to make it. Like, I feel like as he grew up, he could be like, hey mom, I don't want to go to grandma's house, that kind of stuff. But it is rough. And then I guess maybe like the only solution I could see to this one, to where like maybe the kid would go, is I would bring my presents over. And I would let him open just as many presents as well. So that way he maybe doesn't feel as left out just because he only got 3. But I think that's something that they'll have to work out. And the fact that like this sister Anne is being a total like B word, just because like, I don't know, like me and my siblings have always like, I'm very thankful that we always had like a good relationship with each other. So the fact that like she's being like, well, that sounds like her problem and I'm still gonna enjoy Christmas, like, it sounds like it's always been like this. It's always been like, I get everything and you don't type of situation. And I think this girl knows that her mom loves her more, or acknowledges it more, and she's okay with it. And for whatever reason, she doesn't like her sibling, because if she did love her sibling, she wouldn't be like this. So it really does suck. It really does suck that sometimes what you thought was your family, the one who can't like hurt you, is sometimes the ones that hurt you more. So I do hate it for her. I hate that she has to go through this. And I hope the best for the kid at the end of the day. I hope this grandma comes around and realizes what she's doing is wrong. Especially admitting that that's not like, that's their kids are special and that kind of stuff. It's kind of rough, So I don't know. I hope she comes around. I read the top comment, and this one has already been given a vote, and it is and not the a-hole vote, which I totally agree with. She's not the a-hole for canceling Christmas with grandma. The grandma needs to come around. But it goes, oh my god, absolutely not the a-hole. Your mother and your sister are cruel. Hold on to your husband and your son for dear life and run from these evil people. Your son doesn't need a constant reminder that he's not grandma's favorite, and grandma likes the other kids more. You are absolutely not the a-hole. Protect your family and give them the love you never got from your mother. That hit, right? Because, like, she's right. Like, she shouldn't have to put her family through that. And I think we live in a world where we are able to learn the red flags, it's toxic people in our lives and that kind of stuff, and be able to leave them. And I think we live in a good world where people are very open about that and that kind of stuff. So I think it's great that she's able to recognize that maybe this is not a place where she wants to like put her children around and that kind of stuff. So it's just one for now, but who knows, maybe she wants to have more down the road. So who's to say like later on the road it just gets much worse. So I agree. I don't think if she can prevent it, then until the mom comes around and realizes what she's doing is wrong, then I think that they should probably not go to this. But that's my 2 cents. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and we'll fight it out. And I'm kidding. But I just want to know you guys' opinion, if y'all agree with that, or if y'all don't, or what would y'all do if y'all were in that situation, type of thing. So, and we go on to our third story of the day. Do I feel like I'm talking fast? Maybe it's because of all the sugar I've had today. I had a pretzel, you guys. It was really good. Cinnamon pretzel. And some Dr. Pepper. So, our last story. It's a good Christmas story. And it says, English boy unwraps Iron Man's prosthetic arm, a gift from his nation's days before Christmas. And the article goes, an English boy who was born without a lower left of his arm is going to be hugging and opening presents as fast as everyone else after receiving a state-of-the-art prosthetic quotation marks hero arm in time for the big day. Harry of Lancashire has to first undergo a trial to show he could wield. No, had to first undergo a trial to show that he could wield a hand before the National Health Service paid for the majority of it and on his behalf. The Iron Man themed design is just one option for the manufacturers provide for kids and adults. With several different grip modes and technology that detects movements of the muscles in Harry's arms and translates them into intuitive responses. It's exactly the kind of non-invasive prosthetic that a sporty 10-year-old needs. Engineered and manufactured by the UK by Open Bionics and Hero Arm, is now available in over 800 locations in the USA, UK, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand. When he got it yesterday, he was just beaming. He couldn't wait to show everybody, end quote. His grandmother Susan said. And somebody else said he'll be able to now really get into the festive spirit. He can pull a Christmas cracker with both hands now, which he's never been able to do before, said Susan, using the English term for a party popper. Oh, I was wondering, what is a Christmas cracker? I want a Christmas cookie, but it's a party popper. So I think it's really cute. And it's funny because sometimes y'all be able to see a picture of it whenever y'all click on the link for the stories. But this is essentially what it looks like if the phone hopefully focuses. But I thought it was really cute because it literally looks like Iron Man's hand. And I was like, oh, that's so neat. And the fact that he gets this before Christmas, and on Christmas Day, everybody who comes over from his family and is able to be with him, it gets to see his cool new arm, and he gets to have a good new start throughout the year. So I think it's good that these people are building this bionic I would say limbs, because it's really, I think, making a difference to the people who have lost limbs for whatever reasons. So I think it's really neat. It's a really cool idea, the fact that it's like superhero theme, because who doesn't want to be a superhero, right? So I think it's great. I thought it was a good story to end the note with, knowing that there's people out there still doing good, and he passed his trials and he's able to use this arm. So I am all for it. I'm here for it. So let me know what you guys think. If you think bionic parts and stuff are gonna be like a good thing for us in the future, or not. So I guess you guys let me know. And with that concludes our episode for today. I hope y'all have a good Christmas. By the time this episode airs, it'll be Christmas Day. So if you're Mexican, you would probably celebrate the 24th, but if you're not, then you're gonna celebrate the 25th. So whichever day you celebrate, even including like Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever it may be, I hope you have a good one. I hope you've had a great one. And I hope the family dinners aren't too much of a mess. And I pray that everything goes well for y'all. So I will see y'all again next Monday, which by next Monday it will be New Year's. So I'll see you in 2024, you guys. Alright, bye everybody.